Hi, mate. I'll just be here in the background. You kids keep talking. All
Oh,
good.
that's all good. Ian, I'm allowing you to record and you've got 15 minutes. I'll leave you to it.
Okay, I'll record as well. Thank you.
That's all right.
Hey, Jeremy. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Yeah, good. Thanks for asking. Looks lovely in the back there. Lovely and sunny.
Yeah, it's my summer, so it's hot. It's hot as hell.
Oh, well, prepare yourself when you come here because yeah, it's going to be cold and wet because it's winter.
Oh, that's fine. I don't care.
Good. Well, let's get into it. So, I'm Ian. I'm from Hi-Fi Way. We have spoken before. We spoke when you released The Colour Decay back in September
Awesome.
2022. And I asked you a question then, which I'm going to ask. Well, I'm going to kind of go on a follow on from that. And the question then was, when are you guys going to come to Australia? And you said, and I quote, 2023. What happened, man?
I think that we were gonna come do a headline tour, and then something happened. I don't remember what happened, and we couldn't do it. I'm a liar. I'm like embarrassed that it's been this long. It sucks.
Fair enough. Um, okay. Well, you had a bit when you look, you had the album. The album was pretty big. You then and it was a great album as well. Then from the album, you brought out some acoustic tracks. Then from there, you did the EDM track. Then from there, you've done Ritual, and then from there, you've redone the EDM track. So you guys have been fairly busy. I suppose another thing that you mentioned a couple of years ago was that you just love doing different things. So as an example, that EDM track, like how did that all, which is a great song by the way,
Thank you.
how did that all come about?
Yeah, so we had a couple remixes that came out on our deluxe album, and one of the guys who did one of the remixes was like at this EDM festival with Excision and Wooly, and he was showing them the song that he had done, and they had been trying to find someone to sing on this new track they had, and they had tried a few people, and it just wasn't what they were looking for. And apparently, they were like, "Yo, that's it. That's the voice we want. Cool." So they reached out to us, and they were like, "Hey, would you guys be interested in collaborating on a song?" And we were like, "Yeah, obviously, that sounds awesome." So they sent us the song. We wrote a bunch of vocals to it. We gave them like a bunch of guitars and real drums. Like we tracked a bunch of drums to it and stuff. And then they put it together and it was awesome. And so um, we're kind of just down for anything. Yeah, I meant it when I said it. I just like trying different stuff. And so we wanted to play the song live and it went over really well, but we kind of changed it up. It'd be kind of boring, like if our keyboard player just like hammed through everything digital. So we thought it'd be fun if we like kind of remade it with the whole band and hit those guys up, and they were like, hell yeah, go for it. So we actually have a few other ones kind of in the works right now, but it's just finding the time. Like we have so much stuff we're working on, but we keep going on the road, so it's like it's hard to work on the road.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I did notice that with the newer version, there's an extra verse in there,
Yes.
which yeah, which you got Lola involved for. So how did that come about, getting her involved?
We wanted to do a feature just to give it something interesting and have it not just be like another rehash of what we had done. So we wrote that other verse, and then she was actually the first person that we reached out to. Someone had turned us on to her, and she has a really cool voice and
Mm.
seemed like a cool, fun person, and she was keen to do it, and she killed it. And then we actually ended up meeting up with her at So What, and she was awesome, and she's a really cool person. So it's just it. I like having someone that has a really distinct sounding voice that's different than myself and Mike's to kind of just give it some atmosphere in there.
Yeah. No, no, it was. I it's by far on my phone the most played song this year. Like I've just
Oh,
trashed
thank
it.
you, man.
over and over again. And anybody I meet, I'm like, dude, listen to this. Like, you just have to. I was at a pub on Friday night, and I got chatting to this barmaid, right? And I utilized that song to get her details. Like, so thank you, right?
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, I'm just hooking people up out here. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yes. So look, I'm not putting it out there because I only met her on Friday. But if we get married, you're invited. Okay, so
Okay, I'll come. Yeah.
one of the other things, obviously, most of this is about you guys coming over here in August on the Alphawolf tour. Since it got announced, a whole bunch of venues got upgraded, a whole bunch of extra shows are in there. I think you got 8 shows now, which is a lot for an
Mhm.
American band. An American band will do 4 or 5 and then they'll go. Like, what's been the vibe around your camp about the, I suppose, the excitement around the show?
It's awesome. I mean, I knew the tour was going to be good. Obviously, Alphawolf in their home country, those guys are killing it right now. I love the guys in Invent Animate. They're awesome. And Throne just has a lot of hype. So I think it's kind of just like a sort of metalcore devastation type of tour, you know. But um, I didn't think it would sell out before we even got there. That part is awesome. I literally just got email today that the Brisbane show is sold out too. So I think the whole tour is sold out. If it's not, there's like a few tickets left. But um yeah, that certainly adds to the hype. It's like we kind of have a mantra of no bad shows ever. That's just our kind of thing. But I've definitely never had a bad show when it was sold out ever. So I don't think this will be the case now.
Right, look, it was absolutely insane. Like when it got like 'cause I'm in Adelaide, and when it got announced, um I can't remember exactly the time frames, but I looked at that straight away. I looked at the lineup, I looked at the venue it was at, and I was like, that's going to sell out in hours. And it did. And then straight away it was upgraded. And then you just saw the rest of the tour just, yep, boom, 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 all the sold out signs. And it's literally the hottest ticket in town, which is, and everyone's like, I need to get a ticket. It's insane. So it's been 7 years since you were last here, though. And you were here with Miss May I on that particular tour. In that time, you've had 2 EPs that have been released. You've had the Color Decay album that's come out as well. Considering it's been that long, will your set list be heavily weighted to the last 3 releases, or will it be a pick and mix of the whole career?
I think we're gonna kind of do a hodgepodge. There are quite a few new songs that we really want to play just because we've never been there on them, and they're kind of our favorite songs to play right now. But there's also just a bunch of, you know, we have, I don't know, 8 albums and 3 EPs or something. So it's like we definitely need to throw it back a little bit. So it'll be kind of a career spanning set list, if you will. So, but
Yeah,
it should be fun. It should be fun. We've got some good stuff planned.
cool. You mentioned earlier that you've got some other ED, well, I wouldn't say EDM, but you've got some other ideas not dissimilar to what you've done that you want to go and explore more and go into that. I mean, what is the next step? Because it has been 2 years since the last album, or nearly 2 years since the last album. So what's the next step for you guys moving forward?
We're actually working on tracking some of the stuff that we have right now. We've been writing a lot, like pretty much anytime we have some downtime, we'll put a week or two into writing some stuff. So, we're gonna kind of piece that together, but it feels a little too early to like set a timeline for an album just because we're so busy and like even the rest of our year is probably pretty much filled up. So I would say we're definitely going to be releasing some more stuff before the end of the year, but um I don't know, maybe we'll put out a record next year, maybe we won't. And it just depends on if we get a body of work together that feels like it is complete. I'd say
Well, you guys
probably.
are
We work hard.
well, that's literally the point I was going to make. It's like, I mean, the career that you guys have had, it's almost like old school in the 70s. It's like tour, album, tour, album, tour, album. You guys just like keep bringing it in. And not only that, when you do keep bringing it in, it's usually a kind of a left turn from what you've been doing normally. Like it's not just the same thing there. I mean, is that like how do you, I mean, I think we spoke 2 years about this, and you said that sometimes you get new people who come in and they go and change things. So is that is like, how do you feel in that though? Like that it's like when you go and play some older stuff, do you think, oh, I've kind of outgrown that? Or
Um, I I guess my mentality has always been an album is sort of like a perfect encapsulation of a moment in time. And so, like I always have people asking me that are like starting a band or like trying to get into like making records and stuff. And I'm like, just print something, man. You got to commit. Like, you can only make the best record or write the best song you can right now. And sometimes it's better than others, but that's always been the mentality. And so I think the changing up of stuff is more just an extension of that, of just saying, like, what do we want to make right now? And like, what kind of songs are we interested in writing right now? And how do they fit together? And and I also think it's just like getting bored. Like, maybe it's just an attention span thing or something, but it's like I definitely don't dread like playing old music. It's fun. Like, I'm proud of everything that we've done. So even a song that's like 19 years old, I'm not like, yo, this song sucks. I'm like, dang, that's kind of crazy. We wrote that. It's it's more, you're kind of like removing yourself from the process, and you're just so consumed by making it. By the time it comes out, you're like, oh, that was like a year ago. I'm already on to something else now. I already have new ideas. So maybe that's why, I guess.
it's good, it's good. Um, on a personal level, so my understanding is, and if I'm incorrect, please stop me. If I cross a line, please stop me as well. So you're so you're dating Emma from Dying Wish, is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so I've got a friend now who's going to be absolutely mortified when I tell her. Right, so it's the how does do you think that that sort of relationship, because you're both in a band, can be a lot more solid when you are apart and things like that?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely difficult just because there's even more time that we spend away from each other. But it is nice having someone who like fully understands on each side, like what you're going through, not just like playing in a band, but like having the same sort of job within the band, being at the front of the stage and singing the songs and kind of like steering the ship. It's nice to be able to be like, oh, this thing's really bothering me, and be able to like talk through it as a peer, or like ask advice, and like, hey, I'm thinking about this, is this a good idea? And like have the person you trust the most actually be able to get it, instead of being like, I don't know, do whatever you want. So yeah, I always kind of, I felt like I would be uh like jealous of sharing this thing I do with someone else, but I actually love it. It's like the best. So yeah, it's awesome.
Great, good. Well, I've only got 15 minutes, and I reckon we're hitting that mark now. So I will let you go because I know you'll have more on today. And when you get here in August, we'll catch up. We'll have a beer.
Yes, please. I would love that. That'd be awesome.
Excellent. Thanks, Jeremy.